The X-Men find themselves in freefall with only moments to come up with a plan to save themselves. Thinking fast, Cyclops recalls the events leading up to the moment of how they're on a mission to stop Count Nefaria, who has ransomed the world and have been blown out of the sky twice by him. With just over a minute to impact, he calls out Storm and Banshee, instructing them to grab a pair of teammates, thinking that Nightcrawler can teleport to the ground, but Kurt reveals that even if he does, he's still going to be moving at the same velocity and killed regardless, when Aurora says she can grab both him and Colossus. Peter, though, argues that he'll be fine and to grab Wolverine instead when Storm begins to argue, but Scott cuts her off. Banshee then approaches the leader, yelling that he'll have to come back as he can't carry two people, leaving him behind as Cyclops hopes he hurries. Down below, Colossus is the first to land in a very violent manner. The remaining mutants see naught but a crater as Sean Cassidy fears the worst. Rushing down, Storm shouts for Peter, who responds with a wave showing he's alright, while above, Cyclops is still waiting for Banshee's return, fearing that he's cutting it close. The seconds tick by as he drops closer to his death, which he's accepted when Cassidy manages to grab him at the last second. Joking of how he wouldn't have let anything happen, Scott isn't amused as they join the others, telling them that they need to get to work. Detailing that they have less than an hour to stop Nefaria and that they need to get inside, Thunderbird asks how they'll do that when Cyclops turns to Nightcrawler and instructs him to teleport inside, having determined that there must be a surface hatch somewhere that the missiles must have come from as the demonic mutant disappears in a crack of smoke and brimstone. Reappearing inside the base, he finds himself in a maintenance tunnel as he wonders how he's going to find his goal when a voice behind him says he should worry about staying alive as he's struck from behind. Croker is shocked to see Kurt is still conscious as he strikes again, stating that the Count wants them dead as Nightcrawler dodges, taunting that he'll have to do better. Kurt warns the Frogman that he doesn't want to fight when Croker grows angry, shouting that he's a man, not a mutant like him. Kurt then bamfs again, appearing behind the Animan and striking, knocking him out and dragging him along so that he can be questioned later. Not far away, Nefaria spots Croker's failing, but isn't too worried as he has other surprises in store while Kurt drops his prisoner. Searching for a manual override on a control panel, he finds it but turns to see Croker gone. Turning back, the door is open, allowing the X-Men access inside as Nightcrawler informs the leader about his prisoner having escaped. Not too concerned, Scott and the others make their way to the command center when Banshee notes how hot it's getting. Thunderbird also notices when Cyclops spots a gas cloud fast approaching them when it engulfs the heroes. Thinking quick, he yells for the team to move and bust their way through the wall into the next tunnel, which they do with gusto. On the other side, Colossus spots a group of soldiers approaching, who upon seeing the mutants open fire, intending to kill them as Colossus shouts for everyone to get behind him as he shields them from the bullets. Storm warns of the gas behind them, but Cyclops says they can't go forward as the soldiers aren't responsible for their actions and are hypnotized, not wanting to hurt them, when Storm begins calling the elements around her. Promising not to hurt them, she summons a flood to engulf their attackers. Gathering the soldiers up, they are washed away, leaving the X-Men alone with Aurora sure that they won't be bothered again by them. Proceeding forward, they are spotted by Gort and Catman. Gort drops down, grabs Thunderbird, who can barely shout out a warning, and throws him roughly into Banshee. The rest of the Animan appear to fight, and knowing that time is short, Cyclops shouts for them to be taken out quick and hard. As the two groups clash, the Animan have the advantage of being well rested, unlike the X-Men. Suffering from fatigue and surprise from the ambush, the mutants quickly run into trouble as Catman throws Wolverine away, mocking him for his fake claws as he rushes forward with his own ready to kill when Colossus grabs his arm before the strike and throws him away into a wall of machines. Turning to Croker, who is dodging a strike from Nightcrawler, he is struck by Cyclops' optic blast as Kurt thanks him for the assist. Before he can reply though, he is struck by and grabbed by the Birdman. Leaping forward to save him, Kurt strikes the flying villain from behind, causing him to drop the leader. Gort, seeing his friends have been hurt, roars that he'll kill them all as Wolverine warns them to watch out for him. Storm, though, shoots a lightning bolt at him, but Gort is merely stunned to the surprise of Wolverine and Nightcrawler, who working together launch a double strike against him. Dragonfly, seeing she's the only one left, moves to escape to warn Count Nefaria as she hypnotizes Cyclops into doing her bidding. Successful, Cyclops' eyes open wide, staring blankly, the motion causing his visor to open automatically, releasing an optic blast that knocks the last attacker out. Regaining his senses, Scott tells the others that only the Count is left. He then notices that Banshee and Thunderbird are missing when Wolverine shows that they've been knocked out, and knowing that they don't have time, leave them behind as they begin navigating the maze of a base, and when they reach their goal, find that the Count has locked the system into self-destruct and can't be shut off. Back with Cassidy and John, they recover as they spot the destruction around them and are awed by it, as we then turn to Count Nefaria as he's retreating to a plane, gloating of how the X-Men's victory will be their death. Getting into the plane to escape the self-destruct sequence, Banshee and Thunderbird stumble upon him as he prepares to take off, while the two heroes rush forward to try to stop him. Leaping up, Thunderbird grabs onto the Harrier and, pulling himself on top of the craft as it flies away, begins making his way towards the Count, muttering of how he won't give up, while Sean soars after him, shouting at him to get off as he can use a sonic blast on the aircraft. Back with the team, Wolverine is urging them to leave, but Cyclops is determined to stop the system as they only have 5 minutes and wouldn't get far when the Professor appears, revealing that their earlier battle destroyed the relays, neutralizing the system. He then reveals that one of the team is in danger and the heroes hurry outside. Turning to Thunderbird, the Count spots him, warning that they'll both be killed if he continues, as Xavier contacts Proudstar but is told to leave him alone. Telling him that he's been a loner all his life and an outcast, he is an Apache warrior and will prove that as he strikes the cockpit. The X-Men make it outside as Cyclops shouts for Storm to hurry after them and assist Banshee. Before she gets far though, the Harrier ruptures as Charles roars for Thunderbird to escape from the plane, and the X-Men watch helplessly as it glides towards the ground and Xavier screams as it crashes. Exploding upon impact, Charles, who couldn't leave John Proudstar alone, feels everything the Apache feels, with the only exception being that he survives the experience. Sean rejoins the team, babbling of how Thunderbird refused to get off the plane, as Cyclops reassures him that it wasn't his fault. As the team look down upon the burning wreckage, Scott laments the loss of the first X-Man, somberly stating that it must have happened sooner or later and that it comes with the uniform.